Hello friends, I am here to show you some tips and tricks of what I'm doing to try and keep my brows up. First of all, this is only if you have a really steady hand and you totally trust yourself, okay? If you're not comfortable doing it, then don't, because most likely you're gonna shave off part of your eyebrow. I usually put my finger right over my brow and I actually press it down and go away from my brow so that I can clean up the tops and the sides, and then I only use the little tip, and again use my finger as a guard to get just the areas underneath on my brow bone. So I've been using that to help clean up. And then I use my little cuticle scissors if they need a trim, and my eyelash comb, and I just brush them up this way and above kind of the shape of the brow that's going. And then with the cuticle scissors, I can just trim them. They will lay back down nice and flat and helps with any crazy out of control brows. So you just kind of lift them up and then I can just trim that little teeny tiny edge and it just lays them nice and flat and helps keep their shape. Products that you can use to fill your brows. I use the Lash Extend, not only on my lashes, but I also have been using it to kind of fill in. I don't know if you're like me, but I was an overplucker in the 90s, and I overplucked kind of all in here and all right in here and had that real thin shape. So I've been using the Lash Extend to get them back, and then I go and get my eyebrows waxed, and so she helps me maintain the shape, but the Lash Extend is really helping. I always start with a spoolie and I brush them out. So it gives you that instant like eye lift, get all the hairs going in one direction. Okay, now your eyes are like, what do they say, the window to your soul, and your eyebrows frame your eyes. So it's super important that you have an eyebrow on, and I'm going to show you a couple of different options. First of all is shaping your brows. So you line up by the tip of your nose, and you want your eyebrow to start right there. I personally like mine to start a little bit further in. Put a tiny little bit of Shadow Sense on the tip of your angled brush. And then you can mark it. And then if you want it to go in just a little bit, like I usually do, I will mark it just a little further in, okay? And if you are looking for where your arch should be, you want to take it from the corner of your nose, looking straight forward at yourself in the mirror, and then the height of your arch will be right over that pupil, center of your pupil. And so you can put a little dot. I don't know if you can see that. It's like way up in there. And it's my brow color. I probably should have used something darker that stands out more. For the tip of your brow, and a lot of us need to extend the tip of our brow, and some people, like I didn't know that until I started doing Senegence and went through the makeup artist certification. But you want to go from the edge of your nose, like line it up with the outside corner of your eye, okay? And then boom, right there. Look at how far my brow should be extended. Yeah, so then that's gonna completely frame your face. Now, the different products that you can use that Senegence has to offer, there's so many different options, and it's really, for me, just based off of personal preference and the look that I'm going for. And so I'm going to show you the different products that you can use for your brows. So you can use Shadow Sense, which is going to be like a cream. It's a cream to powder finish. This one's definitely probably like super quick. You use it with an angled brush and you can fill in and shape and create like stronger lines. This definitely, to me, has a more bold brow look. So if I'm doing a really dramatic eye or I want really bold brows, I'll go with the Shadow Sense. The Brow Sense is actually one of my favorite products for my brows, and usually what I use most days, because this is literally lip sense for your eyebrows. It's not going to go anywhere once you put it on, so you can totally, I don't suggest that you go to sleep in your brows, but you totally can go to sleep in your brows, and then it will still be there the next day. Smudge proof, waterproof, just like the lip sense for your eyebrows. but it has a tiny little brush, this teeny tiny little brush, and you can get the tiniest little hairline strokes, so it gives a very soft, natural, just defined brow. And then you can use the mascara. You can use it right off the wand, or you can also use it with your angled brush. And then another product that you can use is the eyeliner pencils. And that's also gonna be a little bit more of a bold brow, but these are also waterproof, smudge proof, not going anywhere. So I've mapped it out so you can see where it needs to be. You want to have more of a straight line from your inner corner up to your arch, and then you can choose to keep it angled down or you can round it, totally up to you. A lot of times I will start with the outer tip of the brow, the end of the brow. This is the color dark. I go in the direction of the hairs, and then you can take that spoolie while it's wet and brush it through, and you can see where it fills it in, but it gives a really soft, natural brow look. Okay, so if I were to fill in this little hole right in here, and I'm using kind of across the side like that, okay? Instead of using the tip, and I go in the direction of the hairs. And it's really great for filling it in and creating just a really soft brow. So you can totally see that it's filled in, it's shaded, but it still has a very natural look. A lift right there, and it has a little more definition than nothing. That's just the Brow Sense. That's my usual real fast, quick 5-minute makeup go-to. If you're gonna use the Shadow Sense, this is Smoked Topaz. It has more of an ashy undertone to it, so that's what I use in my brows. And I get it on the back of my hand and kind of spread it through the brush. And then I'm gonna create that line. Okay, you want to have a straight angled line all the way up like that. And you do have a few minutes with the Shadow Sense to kind of move it around. And so I start with that line, and then I'm going to take it all the way underneath and extend it out to that mark we made. And then I go in and take the line on the top, and sometimes you may have to use your spoolie kind of brush those hairs down out of the way so you can kind of see where to place that line. And I do a sharper line around the outside, and then I just take kind of what's left over, and I'm gonna leave that inner corner just as it is. And then I brush those hairs back up. Okay, and I take a little bit more product and fill in, literally like coloring. Outline and then fill in the middle. And then I'm just gonna take whatever's on here and lift it through that inner corner. Okay, then you can take your spoolie and you can use it to kind of soften that inner corner, any harshness underneath, create some crispness. Guys, talking with braces is hard sometimes. Real quick, and you can see how that's a little bit more of a bolder eyebrow. I actually love to put the Brow Sense on over the top because it gives more definition. I don't know if you can even really pick that up on the camera, but it really helps, to me, just not have as powdery of an effect. It still has a defined look of the hairline strokes. So that's how I kind of combine the two. So I don't know if you really can see the difference that that makes, and I'm going to show you how you can clean up and crisp the edges as well. On the other side, I want to show you how you can use the mascara and the eyeliner pencil. Be really careful if you're using the waterproof because it is a really big fat brush. So I kind of use the tip and create those thin little hairline strokes with the tip. And this is the color black brown. It comes in black brown, comes in black. And we also have a couple of colored mascaras. There's a blue, a green, and a purple. If you want to do that, I mean, it'd be super fun, like for a costume look. But you can see using the mascara, that's gonna give a really soft yet still filled in with that definition. If you want to use the eyeliner pencil, again, I would put it on the back of my hand and I take an angled brush, and same thing, I would start with the bottom line and you can get a really nice defined line. See that? This is the color black brown, so it has a little bit of that ashy undertone, which matches my hair color. So basically when you're choosing a color, you want to look for the color in your hair that's the darkest shade. So it's usually our root color, and there's so many different options in Shadow Sense, and the eyeliner pencils as well come in black. There's a brown, there's a black brown, there's also purple and green and blue. You never know, might come in handy. And then you can use that spoolie, brush the hairs. And the nice thing with the mascara and the Brow Sense is it's gonna keep those hairs in place. They're not twins, they're sisters. You can spend forever and they're never gonna look exactly the same. The last thing that I would do, and you can totally skip this step, you don't have to do it, but the last thing that you can do is you can use Shadow Sense or concealer. I like using the concealer myself because I like the finish. So I'm just gonna put a tiny bit of that. Okay, so there's just a little dot of that. And you can mix it with a little bit of like the Snow Shadow Sense or the white concealer, so it has a little bit of a highlighting effect. I take a flat paddle brush and I just clean up that line. You can see how I really opened up my eye by cleaning that up and adding that highlight, but it just really cleans that eyebrow. Okay, so that's how you can clean them up and keep them nice and crisp. You can hopefully, if you go back to the beginning and you can see the difference that that makes. Now, obviously one is been filled differently than the other, so it's gonna have a very different finish. But you can see the difference that that makes in my eyes. When you, where did it go? Here it is. If you're going out and you're wearing a mask, you really want to make those eyes pop. And so I probably should put the mask on when I didn't have my brows so you could see the difference. If you're just wearing a mask, it's gonna help you feel so much better, much more confident, and it really makes your eyes pop, okay? And all I did was one Shadow Sense color. This is Candied Cocoa Shimmer, and I put that on and just blended it up into the crease, and then used my eyeliner pencil and I did a tight line underneath just to add a little more definition to the lash line. I did my Undersense and mascara and then filled in my brows, and like that's it. And then just a little bit on my cheeks and color corrected tinted moisturizer, a little bit of highlight. But you don't even have to do that, and just throw your mask on and you still feel confident and put together and ready to tackle your day, and your eyes are the windows into your soul. So make them happy, cheerful, big, spread love and positivity, and have a great rest of your day.